Good afternoon and welcome to Seaside Allotment channel. And today it's the turn of Jennie's plot for a tour, and things are coming to the end a bit now on Jennie's plot, and clearing lots of stuff and getting things ready for winter. So on with the tour. First, let's have a look at these apple trees. Pretty fantastic crop, not quite ready, but some of these windfalls which ripen a bit earlier. Obviously they've got grubs in them, but they make good eating. And the story pretty much continues down here. More pretty good apple crop. Few bad ones on there, of course, but mostly pretty good. Needs a bit of a tidy up, of course, like everything. This apple tree is not so good. Yeah, lots of scab on these apples. But never mind, because this one is again looking pretty fine. So this was the broad bean bed. We finished cropping that only a week or so ago, and put some chard in there for winter. And this is the first of our runner bean beds, and it's going pretty well. Can't quite keep up with the runner beans. We've cropped about 25 kilos so far. Most of that's in the freezer, but we've been eating a lot and giving a lot away. And this was the onion bed. We've cleared that, finished clearing that, and that's now, we spent a few weeks in the greenhouse drying, and now it's all boxed up in the garage, nice and warm in there, but dry. So I've got some sprouts in there, more sprouts in there, and I did have in these two 8 red cabbages, which is plenty for our needs, but unfortunately I've lost 2 of them already to slugs, so that's not so good, hence the slug pellets you probably see. And some more runner beans. Actually these are a cross between runner beans and French beans. And then French beans on the other side. These French beans, though, the climbing ones, haven't done anywhere near as well as the dwarfs. They're very spindly. Whether they're meant to be so spindly, I'm not quite so sure. But anyway, they are. And these peas I do not recommend. These are the purple podded ones, and they're mange too. And they're not very tasty, so basically they've just been left because the green ones are much nicer. The courgettes are starting to come to an end, and there's still plenty on. You can see towards the back there, around there, some more over here, but like always seems to happen to courgettes that we grow, lots and lots of downy mildew. Whereas the butternut squash is getting a bit of mildew on these, but these are all coming on very nicely. We've got some big ones. You can see them very well, but I don't want to stand on the bed. But basically, a really nice proper butternut squash, and we've taken probably 6 of them already. So yeah, they should store nicely for winter. And then we've got another mixed frame here with French beans on the back, green French beans on the back, purple French beans on the front, and a few runner beans as well. That's also doing very nicely. We've left the massive runner bean frame on my bed to run to seed. We'll be drying those. And then the brassica bed, interesting. So the callets continue to look gorgeous. The leaves are quite nice, taken and steamed like you would cabbage or kale. They are a cross between kale and sprouts, but the leaves are excellent, and they have had the odd caterpillar on them, but generally speaking they're untouched, which is amazing. The sprouts are doing pretty nicely, and we started eating the sprouts now. and we probably had about 20 or 30. Now this broccoli has had it, you can see, and it's quite interesting because the broccoli I'll show you in a second is looking fantastic right next to it. So this one is really nice. I'm just leaving those spears on because I want to pick those on Monday for a friend of ours who really likes purple sprouting broccoli. I mean, we do too, but we're leaving some for her. And then we've got more broccoli here, so I can only assume, because I had a bit of a labelling disaster this early spring, that this is a late broccoli and that's an early broccoli, but it might just be that this is an undiseased broccoli and that's a diseased broccoli, who knows. As I said, a bit of a labelling disaster. So some more colettes, and this is also quite interesting. It's the same plant, same colette plant, but look at the difference in the leaves between this one and this one. Same packet of seeds, really quite a strikingly different leaf, different colouring, different shape. And then we've got some more broccoli and some more broccoli still, and then some more colettes, again strikingly different. And another bustle kind of stuck in the corner there, not doing too well. It's mostly blown at the top anyway, but bottom ones are okay. And we've got some autumn raspberries, not too bad, and then another squash, and I can't remember the name of it, Kobo or something like that, and it does have some fruit on it, but they're not very impressive at the moment. This was planted very, very late, and it's put on a lot of leaf growth, but as yet the actual fruits are not too impressive, but we shall leave it and see how it goes. I noticed that it's kind of intruded into those potatoes, and there's actually some kind of hanging, you can't quite see, it's a shame, but they're kind of hanging off the potatoes, and those potatoes are starting to look a bit worse for wear, and I don't think it's blight, it just looks like dieback. But they're King Edwards, and it seems a bit early perhaps for them to die back. I thought they were meant to last until September, and some of them towards the back are looking fine, so I'm not really sure. I probably should go in there and dig them up. And then these, which have completely covered the path, are Sapamira, down here and across here. And again, strangely, we've kind of got just one or two in the centre there that have started to die back. So it's all slightly confusing to me as to why certain things are and aren't dying, but anyway, we will learn. Now this kale's doing quite well by comparison with the stuff on my plot, a lot less disease, although you can see here that some of the leaves are getting this kind of powdery mildewy mould. If I break that one off, because it needs to come off, and break this one off as well, you can see that the spores from the mould, and it's quite unsightly on the undersides there. Some of that leaf could probably be used, but it's not worth it because we've got such a lot, and a lot of it is in excellent condition, so I'm hoping that this kale lasts nicely until winter. And last year we found that the best technique was just to keep aggressively picking it. If you kind of leave it until winter, then it doesn't do so well. Gets, the old leaves start to get infested with this mildew. But if you just keep picking the old leaves off, new leaves keep coming, and they keep on coming until winter, and then they last fine. But just as an insurance policy, we've got some kale that we planted much later, and that's doing really nicely. So I'll just finish off with these. So I've picked all these potatoes here, and these were Charlotte, and they were superb. They've been left in the ground quite a long time, and they all came out baking potato size, and my wife said they're absolutely delicious. We got quite a large crop from there. But these Sapamira, despite being kind of quite messy now, quite a lot of them are only this sort of size. Not very impressive. And I just left these out just to show you the sizes. Obviously they're the small ones that I left, but quite a lot are small like that, so they're definitely not ready to be picked. They look like they're ready to be picked because they look like a right mess, but the actual potatoes tell a different story. Now, since this is my first potato crop in the ground, I'm not really sure whether they're meant to look as messy as this. So it'd be really nice if people could give me some comments. So I'll say these are Sapamira, which are theoretically blight resistant, but I've heard tell that people still do get blight on them. And as I say, these are King Edwards, as you can see, quite knocked about. Now, we have had a lot of wind, so it may well be that. Anyway, there we go. I think that completes today's tour of Jennie's plot. So if you enjoyed this, got any comments, suggestions, helpful hints and tips and all that sort of thing, do the usual. Give us a thumbs up, share, comment, all very much appreciated. Now, if you've never seen any of my videos before, you'll not know that we have a video tour every week. We do a tour of Jennie's plot, my wife Debbie's plot, and the kitchen garden at home. So one a week, and occasionally, if there's something interesting to say, some in between as well. And so that will also explain to you why this plot doesn't have a full range of veg on it. That's because we manage all 4 of the gardens and allotments as one, and they're all managed intentionally very differently, and they've all got a very different look and feel, again, very intentionally. So take a look at the other videos on my channel and subscribe if you enjoy. Okay, so this is Steve from Seaside Allotment channel, signing out.